Nataibile, Raileble, Hafisule, Natasle.
Hello, Shalom. This is Father's Day special. Past 6 weeks was Mother's Day, and 6 coming weeks will be for our legends. So we'll be celebrating legends, or let me rather put it simply, or in simple ways. It will be legendary river. And I'm sharing this message today, and this message is not in isolation, as it amalgamates some components from previous messages I posted on this platform. So please share this message with people that you interact with, people you love, because they may need this message today. They may not understand this message today. They may understand it tomorrow. So giving them this message may help them to have a picture. Some already know the contents here. Some already have deeper knowledge about what I'm talking about. So if they know, it will be revisiting their knowledge. It will be recapping their knowledge. Yes, please share this message. Please share this link, even if you understand the contents, even if you don't agree with the message, especially because it is a tricky message, but it will to some extent help you and someone out there. If you don't understand some of the contents shared here, you may refer to some previous messages I posted on this platform, or you may find hints in some other contents that you may come across as you learn. All of this make sense. It's just that for people who have not found texts associated with pieces of this message, it won't make sense. So for you to follow well, I advise you to pause this video, collect something that you may draw on, and also something that you may use to draw. That corresponds, of course, with what you'll be drawing on. You may use a whiteboard marker, you may use a paper, a book, a graph, a flip chart, or anything. So it doesn't matter what you use, whether it is A0 size, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, it doesn't matter. Any size is okay as long as you will do what you will be talking about here. It will be fine. A man called Confucius says that our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Let's start with recapping what we talked about in the last video. We mentioned children of Adam, who are Cain, Abel, Seth, and many more other children. So let's start drawing now. You may draw a square on that piece of paper you have, or on that chart, or that board, or whatever you are using. Draw a square. A square is something like this. And that square resembles thinking outside the box, because thinking outside the box is necessary. So the next step is, on the left we label the first child of Adam, who is Cain. So Cain. On the top of the box we label Abel. On the right we label Seth. And on the bottom we label those many other children, those abandoned, those plenty, those many children. We are not listing them, we don't know them. Even if you know them, that will be a huge list. We said that descendants of Cain died in the flood. So let's say Cain has no followers, in the best interest of this message, okay? It is true that he had children, but we already discussed that in the previous message. So let's say Cain is nobody's master, and for the sake of labeling, let's write Belial, because Belial means no one's master. Yes, there are tentative meanings, but they are close to that. Remember, we already labeled the left side with Cain. We also label it with Belial. Cain was expelled from Eden to other parts of the world after killing Abel, after defiling himself, and after being sealed with the mark for his protection. And curses were placed against anyone that would try to harm Cain. So the blessings and curses were attached to the mark that was placed upon his head. So we also label the left side with earth and land. That means on the left of our square we have Cain, we have earth, land, we have Belial. We said Abel was killed and transformed to the spirit, or into spirit, that was reincarnated in Seth. We said that the word was life, was spirit, and was light, and nothing came into existence without the light. Let's label the top of the box with air and spirit. That means the top side, the top of our square is now labeled with Abel and air and spirit. Abel, air, spirit. And that light does not turn off, as Moses saw. The bush that was burning, that was caught with fire, but that never got depleted. And that fire should not be hidden. And that fire should be multiplied. And that fire, which is life, should be multiplied. And should brighten someone. So just like that, Abel became into existence again in Seth, as we said. He got reborn. His spirit got resuscitated into Seth as ever burning fire, as the descendants of Seth survived the flood. Let's label the right side of our box with fire. The flood was plenty water beyond measure, just like when the earth was formless, but was covered with water. Let's label the bottom of the box with water. On the surfaces of water was the Word, and Spirit of God was on the surfaces of waters. So the Spirit was somehow attached to water, but with power of commanding existence and presence. The Word, the Spirit, life, reshaped existence like commanding light in the midst of darkness, which could have been caused by heavy clouds that were holding heavy rains. Noah foresaw the flood, so he saved the pair of each land creature, pair of each air creatures, as he saved himself and his family too. All sea or water creatures were left intact, as flood could not perish them, unlike air and land creatures. And you understand that while other creatures were only 2 by 2, that is two each kind, in the water it was more than 2 per kind. So water resembles abundance or plenty, and that is one of the reasons John had to look for plenty water for baptizing people. Majority of our blood and weight comes from water. It is not merely by eating and exercising that we maintain our bodies, but also by drinking water. Water has abundance and is one of rich resources. Even some people assume that some natural resources evolve from water and others evolve because of water. Even proponents of evolution, unlike proponents of religious creation, assume all things became into existence and evolved from water. Yes, there is a theory of Big Bang theory. That is one of the theories of evolution. But now we are not talking about Big Bang. We are talking about what we are focusing on now. Some creatures possess powers of abiding in water and land, and some also fly on the sky. Crocodilians swallow stones if they want to sink and settle for extended time at the base of waters, and vomit those stones when they want to float. We can use any creature for labeling creatures that can stay in water for duration or for longer duration, but let's use crocodilians such as dragon and Leviathan as they appear in Genesis and in Revelation, and in any other books in between. In fact, crocodilian is a totem of some descendants of Adam. And if you revisit your knowledge, you'll remember this. I'm not mentioning anything about societal and religious totems using crocodilians, such as crocodiles, Leviathan, and dragons across the globe and beyond. Leviathan is described as ancient Cain serpent or snake that provides contents that are hidden even in darkness. Note how the serpent is written. Note how the snake is written. Note how Leviathan is written. They start with capital letters, not just ordinary creature. Remember that we labeled the bottom of our box with many other children of Adam. Abundance in water is essential, but abundance on land is equally necessary as we plant, we mine, we build, we live on land. And I use the word land because we are also mining in other celestial bodies. We know there are a number of projects and programs aimed for harvesting natural resources in other planets such as Mars and Moon, among others. However, this is not the focal point of this message. Being self-employed or being employed is necessary, depending on your level of existence, along your needs and wants. If you have a business that requires employees, you need them unless you can fully design, make and operate in robotic industry, along including your finances, along robotics in performing security, sales, management, purchases, procurement, operations, finances, and so on and so forth. If you are employed, you need employers to fulfill your goals as you are satisfying their goals too. Unfortunately, each side has its own interest at heart, at the expense of the other side. That is one of the reasons we need to weigh whether it is win-win situation, win-lose situation, lose-win situation, lose-lose situation, or what. That is why sometimes negotiations are necessary. Yeah, In politics, we are familiar with words such as agreeing to disagree. That means they applied some of this. The best friend that keeps us operating is the one that balances the system, in as much as we realize that we are different, even in our differences and in our similarities. You know, the best friend that can do that, except your friends are competing with you. If your friend is competing with you 100%, you may label that as your enemy. If you wish to label him or her as such, because choice is all yours. Cardinal points are vital in providing direction so that one may know where to look forward. As some people rely on 6 honest saving men that are named who, where, why, how, when, and which. And man was a representation of God that was live in the eastward in the Garden of Eden. So we understand some concepts so far. And in our diagram, we realize that not only in our diagram, even in philosophies, in ideologies, in religions, spirit is perpendicular to flood as a standard signifying opposition of east and west, where sun rises and sets respectively. As thus, darkness and light are seen as opposing each other, just like sun opposing darkness that was made by heavy clouds leading to floods. It is said that the spirit, life, light, and word is the glory of God. Actually, the gatekeepers were placed in the 4 corners. In these 4 cardinal points. In that accord, let's label the top with east, right with south, left with north, and bottom with west. Let's make a circle intersecting with corners of our box. Within the circle, we may also draw a compass showing east, south, west, north, southeast, northeast, southwest, northwest. You may also include other points too, such as south-southeast. Yeah. And having drawn that compass at any level you left it, you realize that shape. It is a star shape. And some people draw a star as a pentagram. By now, you realize that Seth and Cain were desperados, were anti-heroes, were violent, seeking their names being recognized. And using our box, we can say that from south to north, wealth is proclaimed to the strong, as abundance in land, water, and air are rich if dealt with. Yes, it is true we realize that air and spirits are considered differently by religious philosophers or from religious perspectives. Some consider monotheism, some consider polytheism, some consider those different spirits as they are. Some consider that some spirits are necessary, others are not necessary. So we realize that in spirits there is abundance too. Even air has different elements that can be seen on your periodic table, that can be realized in different productions such as gas for cooking and many other kinds of air. You realize that Cain used the concept of solve et cocula to take the place of Abel. However, some people say that Cain did not find what he killed Abel for. Oh, of course, we even quoted it here, that the spirit of Abel got reincarnated into Seth, not into Cain. That is what we are saying now. However, there may be different perspectives, but in the best interest of this message, that is how we are considering it. All around the universe, there are various types of minerals, liquids, gases, gemstones, crystals, swells, stones, and the list is endless, with some being extremely lethal, some extremely healthy, while others are falling anywhere along the continuum scale. Father's Day special publication or video is mainly showing some similarities in tricky, incomplete way, yes, sure, which is presented in ambiguous way by a person that don't know, by the person you don't know which path he falls in or he is in. Someone once said that he who knows the road knows where he's going, but he who doesn't know where he's going, any road will take him there. Some people give us information at a cost, while others give us information free of charge. For the purpose of this message, that is not the focal point, but what matters is that information adds to knowledge. Information adds to knowledge evaluation. Information adds to knowledge revisiting. Knowledge is also one of lights that keep creatures going on. And it is said that some people perish because of lack of knowledge. Children of enlightenment, existentialism, value the presence of things that keep them healthy, happy, liberated, in control with legacy, etc. So they identify those with the right keys for actualization. Those holding keys are the ones with the light. Should I say they are life providers or light bearers? Let's use one word for both on top of our box, which is Lucifer or Lucifer. In the presence, we realize that some people become mortal foes, and it is also one's choice whether you become obedient or rebellious where circumstances corner you. In one situation or scenario to another, behavior may differ based on what you are and who you are. The way you behave in one situation does not predict how you'll behave in the next similar situation, because it may be who did that. It may be why that person did that. Or you might have learned some lessons from previous interaction. If one chooses rebellion, adversary, or vengeance, it is his own choice still. So on the left side of our diagram, remember we drew Belial, land or earth. We labeled Cain. Yeah. And on the right of our box, let's use one word for those words which we mentioned earlier, which are vengeance, adversary, rebellious, or rebellion. And write Saturn, write Saturn, because that is the meaning of the word Saturn. You realize that gatekeepers are different but are siblings, serving purposes of watching, regulating, protecting, balancing, informing, shaping, and reshaping things in the existence. Yes, things in the presence, among others, or inter alia. I'm not talking about those gatekeepers. Jesus said they are standing at doors, denying people to enter. The message is not simple and was not meant to be simple, but was meant for highlighting some points. Remember that we said at the bottom of our diagram, we label water, the weather, west. On the right, we have Saturn, adversary. We have fire, among others. On the left, we have land or earth. We have Cain. We have north. Okay, I didn't mention something at the bottom or on the bottom of our box. I didn't say many other children here. And remember, on the top we have Lucifer, we have east, we have Abel, we have air, we have spirit. Within the cycle that we drew, remember we said we have that square, and later we said we may draw the circle around that or intersecting the corners of our square. So within that circle, we may also draw a head. You may also draw a head resembling wisdom, especially head of an animal. Head of an animal resembling wisdom that helps achieve and possess this abundance, we realize that there's abundance in everything. And wisdom will help us to have access to this abundance. Yeah, it's not that easy to share this message. It's not so easy. I labeled a lot of things there. Those contents may somehow look contradictory because some understand concepts of Cain, but they will not understand the fact that they are attached next to Belial, Lucifer, Satan, Leviathan. But it's a diagram that summarizes what is happening in the spiritual realm, in the presence, in existence, in reality. Being on denial doesn't stop things. It only delays success. Yeah. There are a lot of people that didn't achieve self-actualization because of denial. Someone out there may be hungry, may be offered to some jobs, but because of denial, they may say, no, I don't want to work. But ignoring the fact that they don't have anything in the present moment. Someone may be given opportunity of business ventures, entrepreneurship, with some resources, with capital, with human resources, and many other resources, but they may deny opportunities or reject them. Remember, denial delays success. I'll not push you in any ways to understand the concepts of reincarnation, of Abel into Seth. No, I'll not. Because some people accept things fast, others delay. We normally advise people to make decisions when they are ready, when they have collected and evaluated information. Just like buying shares in businesses. Don't just buy shares because someone came with eloquence. No. You need time to reconsider facts, to analyze possibility of business growth, business expansion, because in business we focus on a lot of things, including going concern. How do we go forward? Will the business go forward? Some businesses that we used to know. Now my phone fell, so I have to hold it. There are businesses that we knew excelling, but nowadays they are selling shares. Maybe because owners, key players, are now old. Maybe because key players are no longer innovative. Novelty minds have declined. Maybe the grey matters in their heads have played another role in creativity, and we see them selling shares. Yes, you may sell shares because you want the business to grow, expand, you see. But some sell because they want to retire entirely, so they will enjoy money they have. Yes, some people venture into businesses because they want abundance for themselves. Others, abundance for their own descendants. So it's legacy. Yeah. There are a number of reasons people venture into businesses. Yeah. Some people venture into churches, great churches, so that they'll have abundance. Depending on their perspective of their minds, angles, analysis, because they may say they are doing that so that they'll have a lot of followers that will be saved, that will be blessed. But to some extent, they are also doing it for themselves so that they will have abundance. They will have a lot of money that will be collected from congregants or followers, titled in different ways, such as tithes and many other ways of telling people to pay. There are a number of titles that are labeled on requested monies, even in congregations. Yeah, you know, abundance is in anything, whether it is in air, like we said, on land. Some people venture into mining, like we made an example on this video. So when you say you don't want to be employed, when you make a business, are you expecting people to be employed in your business? Of course you are. Whether you like it or not, you are expecting it. So it is possible that you may have a business venture and you succeed without having been employed in one or the other, but have good skills to manage that business. Yeah, some people venture into businesses and they don't manage their own businesses, but they identify right resources that will manage their own business. They employ skilled, talented, educated, qualified people for managing their business. So having a business is not a necessity. Having employment is not a necessity. What is necessary is the end result. What we are looking for is abundance. What we are looking for is abundance. Some people become politicians for the better country, nation, society. Yes. Some don't do that with that perspective. No. Some do that for their own interest's sake. Some do that for personal abundance. Even some followers of political leaders or political parties don't pursue or follow those with the best interest of society or nations or continents, but in the best interest of their own abundance, so that they will have tenders, so that they will have access to some other benefits. Yeah, that is some of the driving factors or motivations. There are people that follow politics because of what has been stated in the manifestos, in what has been said in campaigns. And some political parties fulfill just that when they succeed into government. They do what they promised voters. Some don't do that. They deviate from their manifestos, from their policies, from their campaign speeches, because of any other factors that may come around. Some balance while they are in power. They try as much as possible to balance, to include their followers and followers of their opponents, include even their opponents. Yes, some political parties do that, as they are doing balancing factors. When they offer opportunities of employment, some are transparent. They employ based on who came first. Some employ based on meritocracy, who has something better than another. Some do by any other measures. Yeah. So some do those and also mix with adding their followers and others. It is not every voter that is a direct follower of a political party or political leader. Some vote because of what has been said. Some are followers of political parties, of political leaders, but they don't vote for those, or they don't vote at all. Yes, those are some of the facts that we cannot deny. We have realized this in different countries. Some parties have a lot of people attending their campaigns. Come elections, numbers are not even half of those people who attended. Why? There are a number of reasons. Some attend political rallies. You find numbers, let's assume 1,000. Come elections, millions vote. So you have a picture. That is why some political parties will try as much as possible to balance. Even in civil servants, you don't know who voted for who because it is a secret. Voting is something that is done in secret. Yes. One person may attend a certain political party, but vote for certain political party opposing that one. Some people may change in the last minute, just seconds before voting. Maybe because they have been evaluating a number of factors. Who is the person I'm going to vote for? What did he do? What did he say? Is he or she capable of doing that? And many other factors. Balancing factor. Abundance is what we are looking for. Yes, abundance. Way of life. That is just the way it is. We are different. Even in our similarities. We are different even in our differences. Because some people may be white, but you find that they are not the same. Even twins are not 100% identical. We are different even in our own similarities. We are different even in our own differences. So, let me say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Yes. If you don't think I love you, just know that I love you the way you should be loved. I adore you the way you should be adored. Shalom.